In this video, I'll be showing you how a multi-platinum singer and songwriter in the person of Max Ulver records his vocals professionally in his home studio. So this video will show you his step-by-step approach from setting up the type of gear he uses, how he routes, and the type of effect he uses on his vocal chain, down to processing the vocal. It's going to be an interesting one. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, to have an idea of the type of vocal quality we are going for, look him up on Spotify or any other platform. He has this song called Supernova, so simply type Supernova by Max Ulver. Listen to it so that you have a clearer view or idea of the texture of the vocals. But before I continue with this tutorial, let me quickly show you how this setup transformed my recorded vocals that was recorded with Audio Technica 2020 and Focusrite 18i8. From this, I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put the ring on your finger. To this. I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put a ring on your finger. I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put a ring on your finger. I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put a ring on your finger. Amazing, right? So now let's start with the type of mic he uses. A Neumann M149 mic, which is a very expensive one.
This microphone is a Neumann M149. It's a vintage mic and I love this. It's an expensive mic, but it really gives a clear top.
He also said that in a situation where you don't have that, you can substitute with Shure SM7B, which is also a good one.
Now, if you don't have the budget for this kind of vintage condenser microphone, my best choice would be this bad boy. This is a Shure SM7B, and this mic is fairly inexpensive. It is a great microphone. And even though it doesn't have the crispy top end that this microphone has, this is like one of the best microphones you can get on a relatively low budget.
So let's say you don't have access to all these mics and you want to try out this tutorial. Don't worry, I have a way that you can enhance your mic to sound like a Neumann mic or Shure mic. Though not 100% the same quality, but something very close, which is actually good. And followed with, he advised to always use an acoustic reflection filter. That is actually to control the amount of noise that is going into the microphone, because you know, cleaner intake gives a very clean and professional output.
This microphone has a super high output, which means that it captures everything in the room. That's why I have this bad boy. This is an acoustic reflection filter, and I would highly recommend getting one unless you are in a super treated room.
It is very important to use a pop filter to control the S's, the P's, the T's, and all that. Now,
if you're using this vocal, you don't necessarily need a reflection filter because this does a lot. Whereas if you take this off, you probably need a reflection filter, but you're also gonna get a bit more high end. So, pop filter, microphone, a reflection filter, and then you're good to go.
he talked about avoiding picking your vocals, which has to do with your recording level. So it is very, very important to not to record too low, and at the same time not to record, within the red zone, if you know what I mean. So find a very sweet spot where your vocals are loud enough but not picking, alright? Because when you record too low, when you're now processing the vocals, you see yourself bringing up all those noise floor, which you don't want to happen in your track.
When it comes to making a great recording, one thing you want to make sure of is not to peak. You never want to peak because that ruins the recording pretty much.
So after that, he talked about proximity effect. For the sake of those who don't know, proximity effect is your positioning, your distance from the mic. How far you are determines your voice to sound certain way, and how closer you are also determines how you sound. Simply put, if you are very close to the mic, there is a whole lot of low end in your vocals, right? But when you go further away, your voice sounds very thin. So find a very sweet spot. Some people use their hand to make a measurement for that. Position your hand like you want to make call. Put the other end, which is the thumb, on your lips, put the pinky on the pop filter, and with that distance, you are good to go. And also to let you guys know that my membership will be kicking off by next week, and there I'll be posting very, very effective and in-depth strategies to enhance your production skills. But before we jump straight into that, I really need you guys' help. For this video to go far and get to the people that needs it, it can only happen with your engagement, which is your like, comment, and you subscribing to the channel. Most importantly, turning on the bell notification so that when next I upload the continuation of this video, which will center on processing the vocals itself, which is the mixing part of it, you will get notified. So now let's talk about his vocal basic chain, which he sets before recording. He uses Apollo Twin for his audio interface, which allows him to use the console interface in his DAW, which is super cool because that will give him that analog warmth, all those analog quality and character.
Before recording the vocals, we're going to set up a basic chain. I'm using the Apollo Twin, which means that I'm using the console interface.
But don't worry, I have a whereabouts with this if you don't have Apollo.
So I'm recording on channel 1, and what I like to do is just set a basic compressor. I set my attack to 3 and my release to 7.
Alright, let's say in a situation you don't have 1176 FET compressor by UAD, you can use this other one by Waves CLA76, this one right here. As you saw, he set the release to 7 milliseconds and the attack to 3. And have in mind, this type of compressor, the higher value is actually the fast, while the lower value is the slow. So setting it to 7 milliseconds means you are using a very fast release and a slow attack, leaving the ratio at 4 and adjust the volume just to tame the peaks, not to squash it. Alright, so but in my case I have the UAD 1176 compressor plugin. Alright, after the mic channel setup, this is what you should have. UAD 1176 FET compressor, or the alternative, which is CLA76 compressor by Waves. Now, if you watch closely, you'll see that I have more plugins. From my demo, you can see that the audio quality is really rich and enhanced, completely different from when I just recorded without the preset. So what I did was to try as much as possible to emulate the texture or quality of his vocals. So in the absence of Apollo Twin, I look up online to see what makes Apollo Twin unique. And one thing that stood out is the analog feel and warmth. So I tried to mimic that in the DAW using a certain plugin. Then also in the absence of the Newman M149 mic, so I used a mic emulator model plugin to push my mic, which is AT2020, to come close to the quality of the professional mic he used. Then after that, to boost the overall volume to a sweet spot, I now use a preamp. That's the 3 plugins you are seeing here. combining them together now gave the results I demonstrated at the beginning of this video, which is quite interesting. Like, ever since I've been using this, I love the quality of vocals I've been recording. So the idea here is to showcase these techniques to you guys so that you can as well experiment with it and, you know, start using it. Now, he further explained some other effects he uses. After recording, he also used this plugin here by Brainworks, as you can see, Clean Sweep Pro, to take off unnecessary low end information on the vocal, you know, to like clean the vocal. And after that, he also have an overall control of the vocal using a Renaissance Vox compressor by Waves.
Now, what I also like to do is just to do a quick chain, at least just with the auto-tune set right. I like a reach speed of about 15 and humanize 100. This is a filter that just takes away some of the low end, and then a little bit of compression, so I have like an idea of what it sounds like when I'm going into the next bit.
Further in the video, he now showcased how he records and comp, and encouraging to always adopt that techniques. For those who don't know, comping simply means recording multiple sample of a certain take. Let's say you're focusing on the verse, so you have multiple takes of that verse 1, like 6 or 7 or 10 as the case may be. Then after recording it, you now take your time to listen to each and every one of it and pick the best section in all of them till you complete the full verse, and then now consolidate all those takes into one audio file. Alright, he further emphasized on the importance of pitch correcting your vocals, because sometimes no matter how good you are in singing, there are certain notes that will go off. So he talked about taking time to fix those issues, and at some point he used auto-tune on his lead vocals, but in a very subtle manner, setting the return speed to 15 and the humanize to max. In a situation where you want to fix it but you don't want to use auto-tune, you can use the pitch correcting feature in FL Studio. Just go on the audio, click at the top corner there, you will now see pitch correct sample. So when you click on that, it will now open up this Newton tool, and as you can see here, you now have access to manipulate your audio the way you want. Alright, you can also further go to this section where you can set the key of the track you're working on to make it very easier in adjusting. As you can see under the scale, you choose the key and it will lock itself in, then you can now easily adjust it. So he further revealed how he structures his recordings, like the lead voice, the dubs, the backgrounds and the ad-libs. But because of time, I'm not going to be talking about that here. But if you want me to make a separate video for that, showcasing how he did it, let me know in the comments, or you can as well visit this YouTube channel you're seeing on the screen. That's the channel that had the interview with him, so credit goes to them. Take your time and watch the whole interview, the whole process there. So that is pretty much about his approach to recording his vocals. I know I must have missed out some things, but I am only focusing on the most important ones that will really help your track sound professional, and as well showcase the preset that I came up with that will transform your mic, no matter the type of mic you're using. So long as you're recording in an environment that is not too noisy, it will to a certain extent enhance the quality of your recordings and give you that professional touch. So if you want to have the preset, the full preset I came up with, I'll be leaving the link in the description. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to leave a like, share your thoughts, subscribe and turn on your bell notification, because I'll be dropping the mixing parts of this tutorial. As always, stay creative, stay focused, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.
I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put the ring on your finger. I've been thinking about how to make you mine, how to treat you right, how to bring you close. I've been thinking about what to tell you now and treat you as my queen. Put a ring on your finger